You ever notice how the sun doesn't beg the earth to rise? It just shows up every morning, same time, same warmth, same fire. And the earth, well, it can't help but turn toward it. That's presence. That's power. That's how you stay unforgettable. Now look, these days we're all glued to little glass boxes, thinking if we don't ping someone, we'll be forgotten. But let me tell you something true, something ancient. You don't need to chase attention to own it. You just need to become unshakably you. See, it ain't about filling his phone. It's about filling a room with your energy even when you're not in it. You want to stay on his mind? Then make sure your absence is louder than other people's presence. Be the mystery he can't quite solve. The song that plays in the back of his head while he's driving. The scent that lingers after you've left the room. And when you're around, be there, really there. Smile like you've got secrets, laugh like you own the moment, and walk away without the need to look back. That's how you become unforgettable. Confidence isn't volume, it's vibration. It's the quiet knowing that you don't need to perform to be powerful. You just are. So live your story like it's worth watching. Make your life so damn rich, so textured that anyone who touches it feels it long after you're gone. You don't got to text him to stay on his mind. Just give him something to remember. And if you do it right, he'll be checking his phone, but not for messages, just to see if maybe, just maybe, you thought of him too. All right. Be unforgettable in your absence by being undeniable in your presence. This isn't about playing games. It's not about ghosting or manipulating. It's about understanding the rare kind of energy that leaves an imprint. Not just when you show up, but when you're no longer around. It's the art of presence, so strong, so authentic, so full of soul that when you leave, your echo stays behind. See, real presence isn't about volume. It's not how loud you are, how much you text, or how often you're in someone's face. It's in how grounded you are when you walk into a room. It's in the way you make people feel when you talk, and even more when you're quiet. It's in the confidence to know that you don't need to chase to be chosen. You need to resonate, to leave fingerprints on a moment. That's the kind of presence that lingers. Presence begins with intention, how you carry yourself, what energy you decide to bring into the world. Do you walk in like the storm, or do you flow in like calm water that can still shift the shape of the land? Are you reacting to the world, or are you leading your own rhythm? People notice, not always consciously, but they feel it. And what they feel, they remember. Being undeniable in your presence doesn't mean being flashy. It means being real, unapologetically, deeply, and consistently yourself. That kind of authenticity has a gravity to it. It pulls without trying. When you're locked into your own frequency, not looking around for approval, not adjusting your light to make others comfortable, that's when people can't look away. And later, they can't forget. There's something magnetic about a person who knows who they are and doesn't shrink. When you speak from your truth, when your energy is aligned with what you believe, people start to lean in. They may not even understand why, but it's because they're witnessing something rare. Someone living fully in their own story, not trying to fit someone else's. And the truth is, we're not wired to forget rare things. We're built to remember what moves us. Think about the people you still remember, not because they kept calling, texting, checking in, but because of how they made you feel when they were around. That one laugh, that one moment they really saw you. That spark of presence, undiluted and undistracted. They left an imprint. And that's what you aim for. To be undeniable in your presence, you've got to cultivate depth. Be someone who feels deeply, thinks freely, and lives fully, not because it gets you attention, but because it feeds your soul. When you're aligned with yourself, when you're investing in your own growth, your own dreams, your own joy, people feel it. That inner richness, it speaks louder than any text message ever could. You become a vibe, a mood, an energy. You become a moment that someone replays in their head. You become the standard they subconsciously measure others against, not because you asked to be, but because you were unforgettable in how you lived and loved. Now let's talk about silence. See, presence doesn't end when you walk away. If it's real, it lingers. But that only happens if you leave space for someone to feel the absence. Constant texting, always being available, filling every gap with words, that doesn't give your presence room to breathe. Sometimes it's in the silence that someone realizes just how much noise you brought to their world. And when that noise is gone, the stillness speaks volumes. It's in that gap, that pause, that absence, if your presence was true, that the mind starts to wander back to you. Because you weren't just a person. You were an experience, an energy, a memory with weight. And that kind of memory, it doesn't fade easily. Staying on someone's mind isn't about inserting yourself. It's about being so authentically impactful that they keep pulling you back into their thoughts without realizing it. It's not effort, it's essence. You don't have to remind someone of your worth when you carry it like it's stitched into your skin, when you walk with grace, not arrogance, with confidence, not ego. When you have peace in your own company, you become someone who doesn't just take up space, but create space. Space for laughter, for connection, for depth. And when you create space like that, people remember. They crave it again. So keep doing the things that fill you. Dance alone. Read books that stir your spirit. Wear what makes you feel like yourself. Chase what makes your eyes light up. Speak truth even when your voice shakes. That's presence. That's power. The world is full of noise, full of people trying to be noticed. But there's something mesmerizing about someone who doesn't need to compete with the chaos. Someone who isn't loud, but is felt. Someone who doesn't need to explain themselves, but is understood. That's the kind of person who stays on a mind 24/7, not because they demand attention, but because they become part of the atmosphere. Your presence is your signature, your essence. Don't dilute it for convenience. Don't shrink it to fit in someone's expectations. Let it expand. Let it evolve. Let it take up the room it was meant to. Because when you show up fully, unfiltered, unshaken, and aligned, you won't have to worry about whether someone's thinking about you. They will be. Without a single word from you,